Yes, Spain versus Sweden. A game we've been waiting for. Not so much on the line in terms of getting to BlizzCon or not. It's going to be the flamenco dancers versus the locomotive dancers. I assume that's what Chips was
just
trying to do.
Just really not really sure what he's doing in that dance. Maybe it's the national dance of Sweden. We just don't know about it. I
hope they get up to some weird stuff up there, to be honest with you. With the days going super long, people just start going crazy. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see how they pair now up against Spain, where I'll be honest, doesn't seem like Sweden's really had a challenge in this group so far.
Well, of course, we're going to be having a best of three once again here, as the maps have been all the way through. It is starting off on Dorado, then into Temple of Anubis and Lijiang Tower if we require it. And of course, this is all about seeding now. Nobody wants to be second in the group. There's chances of currently, you've got either Finland and Korea, obviously. They're going to be competing later on. You've got the USA and Russia in there. So there's really a lot of ways you want to go, but you always want to be #1 in the seed. You want to be in that first pot.
In some groups, even getting it second seed, or no, getting the top seed out of a group could pair you up against either Finland or South Korea. That's scary as well. So sometimes there's just no way of winning coming out of this one. But for these two teams, it's going to be very important to get a measure of one another and also themselves, who, honestly, Sweden and Spain, both fairly comfortable getting through so far. Although Spain had a little bit of a hiccup versus Canada, but it was more of a footnote, if anything else. Sweden will be on the defensive side here, and it's going to be the classic combo, Mei and Reaper for IDDQD and Fifth.
Yeah, and if you guys have just joined us or maybe new to Overwatch, I'll give you a quick roster rundown of the guys. For Sweden, it will be Tavik. He's going to be on Reaper. Coco is going to be on the Reinhardt. Zave on Lucio. IDDQD, he's going to be on the Mei this time around. Chips Hyatt will be on Anna. And Zebosai, of course, on Zaya.
Yeah, for Spain, of course, at this stage, it looks like we might even be seeing a Hanzo coming out of the gates. Ooh, a D.Va here would be interesting, but Bromas played D.Va last time we saw Spain play on this particular map. We have seen Bromas play Bastion before, they'll say that. He used to be the Bastion aficionado. He used to bust that all the time on Route 66 especially, but I'm happy to see him go for the Reaper here. Neptuno, the man on your screen now, is definitely someone to be watching, as the onus will be on him to create opportunities and to create picks. You want to get an early kill and make a 65 situation, something that you can manipulate in your favor.
Okay, we've seen Hanzo a number of times here actually, so it can work well. You've got to compare it really with the Pescanova's ultimate, the Graviton Surge, so it pulls everybody into one location. He fires this big arrow off, it hits everybody in the same location. A lot of damage all funneled in, but it takes a lot of accuracy to get it all working. A lot of team coordination at the moment. He's working that shield down. That's the exact job he's going to do. Neptuno, see that big shield of Reinhardt? He can flicking it away, and he's going to work it down. It does a heck of a lot of damage, builds up that ulti charge as well.
It's also worth putting a Sonic Arrow into that Reinhardt shield because it stays there. And even if you're around a corner, wherever the Reinhardt goes, you'll be able to see through walls around him, so you know where everyone is. There was an ice spike, I think, going towards Neptuno there, maybe even some Zarya damage coming your way from Zebosai, but slowly and surely Spain are making their advance. It's not working so far though, because Tavik gets 2 kills already, going straight in, Winghaven falling to IDDQD, and Neptuno doesn't have a front line to defend him, and Coco's going to barge straight through.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. Not too sure how it worked out when they tried to speed up and run in there with the Lucio boost, because Lion Pro was basically in a head-to-head in the doorway with Tavik. Well, a Lucio versus a Reaper, that's only ever going to go one way. It wasn't what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, the only time we actually saw that work, I think, was Rolf 1v1ing Bromas actually on Temple of Anubis there. I think it was like McCree versus Lucio, and Rolf wrecked him, but not quite a situation, and to be fair, Tavik's not really going to allow you to beat him in those ones.
Well, we can see IDDQD here on your screen. He's got Blizzard ready and waiting to go, as well as Chips Iron with that nano boost, so this is going to be very tough now for Spain to push on through. They're going to try and take the high ground, push down on towards the payload. There's the Dragon Strike pushing through, but he doesn't catch anybody in it. The Blizzard goes instantly down, instant answer. Reaper goes through, he's been nano boosted around the backside, doesn't get caught anyone, doesn't manage to pick anyone up. Neptuno, and that's Spain's attack failing already. It was Bromas that got boosted, and it's backfired, and well, Sweden just had an answer to everything Spain threw at them there.
Yeah, Spain tried to do a little something I like to call riding the dragon, all right? If you use Dragon Strike as Hanzo, and a team seeing it coming in actually can't really see you amongst the dragon because it actually obscures you from vision. It's not a transparent ability. So when Spain sort of run at the same time as the dragon, Sweden are like, where are they? Where are they coming from? Problem is, the dragon didn't do anything because there's no Graviton Surge, nothing to really catch Sweden and actually force them to take damage. So a little bit underwhelming there. Spain had the elements but didn't use them as well as they could have.
Well, Tavik's got his Death Blossom ready and waiting to go. He's actually trying to catch out the damage on towards Neptuno there, up on high, using the payload, ironically, to his advantage and push on. But now they're going to close in him. He Wraith forms away, gets himself to safety. Spain push in. There's the sound barrier going down. There's a Graviton Surge. Tavik just holding on to that ulti. Doesn't need to use it because IDDQD and Tavik get themselves the kills. And Sweden holds strong. A minute to go, and they've yet to reach the fountain.
Right, and so Spain need to hope for something, some sort of combo to break Sweden apart. They need to work with these ultimates a little bit better than they have been so far. Get a wipe or at least 3 kills to give them a man advantage. The upside is that they do at least have Pescanova close to a Graviton Surge. Neptuno has a Pulse Bomb. They've got big ults ready to go, D-Man. It's about using them at the right times here. Sweden also has defensively a very strong suite of ultimates now with the Blizzard, with the Earth Shatter, and a Nano Boost to send Vic spinning into the backline.
Spain in trouble here. 30 seconds to go. Pescanova, Graviton Surge almost ready to go, so they have the right ulti combo, but Tavik just goes instantly aggressive, gets nano boosted through, gets himself the kill on Neptuno. That's less than ideal. IDDQD picks up the pieces, but Spain have got themselves a quick triple kill in there. They're coming out on top, but Coco goes in, swinging the hammer, gets down Pescanova, and Spain are left in tatters as Sweden go aggressive.
That was really nicely played by Coco as well. Look at him. This guy plays on a knife edge all the time. He does eventually go down here, and Spain are going to be able to reinforce, but he did a lot with very little health. I mean, the Earth Shatter was important, and now it's going to be 2 seconds left to go here. Spain have a chance to push forward. Sweden aren't all ready to receive this yet.
Well, they're going to get it through. I think they may actually hit the first payload mark here. IDQD went down really slow there. The McCree switch coming through. Here's Tavik that decided to jump over to it. Zebasai getting focused on by Bromas as well. He's also made the switch over to the McCree. So both teams realizing we maybe need McCree here. Coco's going to get picked off, and Spain are finally, by the looks of it, going to reach that payload marker and keep it ticking. The time is not going to be great as they move into the second section, but they reached it nonetheless.
Right, so in general, Spain's done a lot less damage in this game than Sweden, but they only really needed to break through in that one fight. Tavik tried to be reactive there as well with the Reaper jumping in, of course, with the Nano Boost and using the Death Blossom. The problem was Spain had good healing, and they had Winghaven there to protect them from most of that ultimate. So Spain able to start the fight off very well. They had the Graviton Bomb combo to use there as well and able to put a lot of damage away. But now McCree's are coming out, right, Lee? We've got a bit of high ground here, and Tavik showing us just why McCree is so good at shutting down flankers.
Neptuno, yeah, trying to flank around with the Tracer, not going to work out. Tavik down to 4 hit points there, finally gets healed off by Chips, and they drop down, go aggressive. IDDQD drops in there, gets himself the kill on Winghaven, and Spain forced to back away. Now, they only have 2 minutes 30 when they reach that payload marker. Of course, you need the animation, the doors need to open, everything needs to happen perfectly. But it is still moving. As Sweden move back to the high ground, the payload's continuing its distance. And it's actually working out well for Spain at the moment. They're going to drop back down again. Blizzard ready to wait and to go. 5
ultimates here, and look at that. The Blizzard being thrown in there by IDDQD and a Graviton Surge is going to make that fight easily won over on the low ground here. You can see both tanks are now frozen solid, caught up in the mix, and now Sweden gets to converge upon their targets and dispatch them. It's going to be IDDQD working off towards the back. There is a shield in the way, but a wall is going to prevent Winghaven from escaping. He'll be knocked back and frozen solid. An easy pickup.
Nothing he could do. 1 minute left to go here. Spain are faltering, that's the way to put it. They are struggling. Nano Boost ready and waiting to go. You did see Bromas trying to get the Deadeye off at the distance there, but everybody just ducked around the corner instantly. They hadn't actually dropped down. You saw IDDQD throw the Blizzard. He actually didn't drop down. He just threw it off the top there. Still only 40 seconds to go. Here they go. Final push here for Spain. They need to make something work.
Yeah, Harry Hook forcing Tavik to respect him there. A couple darts coming in, taking the McCree very low, but Tavik's able to recover now. He knows there's a Genji off towards the side, but Neptuno was out of range of that flash. Now, here comes the Deadeye. This could be quite nasty. Tavik heading towards the backline. He wants to get this out of first, but Harry Hook's making himself hard to hit. Eventually, the Fan the Hammer's able to deal with Pescanova, and Tavik now charged up and ready to go. Doesn't have a huge impact over that fight. It's a mutual flash, and Tavik is taken down.
Yeah, he's got the cover, though, the support. IDDQD hitting those right clicks, burning away, getting those icicles to the broad dome, and he's managed to clear them out. The wall comes through. Bromas forced to back away. Just 10 seconds left now for Spain to get on that payload, and in comes an Earth Shatter. Just collapses on them, and Sweden are looking solid here. It's going to be a distance marker for Spain. They're struggling to even get close as the overtime ticks down.
Now the Graviton Surge is going to make it very hard for Spain to advance at all. Overtime's still happening, though. There is a Lucio on the payload, I believe, so Line Pro's done his job there. Now Sweden are going to turn and respond to this. This will allow Neptuno to probably get a tag and keep this overtime going, but now Dragonblade forced him to leave the payload, and there's Tavik from up on high. 2 kills for him, controlling the skies.
Neptuno taken down, didn't manage to get himself a kill with that Dragonblade. That may well be all they have left. Winghaven using the Shatter, but it gets countered by Coco straight away. Gets drop down there. Winghaven did take down Zave in the time, but it doesn't matter. The rest of Sweden were there, and they will hold Spain at the church.
There was a chance there. I got a little bit excited for a moment because now the payload in Overwatch doesn't block effects like Earthshatter. So you can hit people on the payload and on the other side of the payload by Earthshattering the ground around it. And we haven't had a big opportunity here, but of course this is Zeverside. His Graviton surges, we saw multiple users of this one. Sweden can count on Zeverside to be reliable, also to be charged up and make sure he hits those Gravitons at the right time. This team is always going to have the tools in the arsenal that they need to win a team fight, especially if they got ultimates ready to go.
Sweden looking strong, no doubt about it on the defense. Now can they do it on the attack? Spain under a bit of pressure here on Dorado. It's a tough map, no doubt about it. It is one of the tough ones. Started out strong, but there's Tavik. You can see 21 eliminations, 3 deaths, 65% weapon accuracy as well. Impressive stuff from Tavik.
Yeah, I mean, and actually he ended up, I mean, it was 65 point, some high number, right?
Yeah.
So very, very high. And as a McCree man as well, I'm always really interested to see what accuracies players are getting on that one. Like I said sort of yesterday, between 45 and 55 is good. That's kind of what you expect. That's solid McCree. 65 is absolutely bonkers. Tvik had, yeah, like we saw 12.2k damage. That accuracy is off the charts. And that's scary when you have Tvik and IDDQD on Sweden, who are both incredibly good on that McCree. You have so much flexibility in terms of your DPS hero pool.
So, Sweden, their turn to attack, and Spain are going to have to be rock solid here on the opening. They need to keep them at bay. Remember, Spain only managed to capture the first marker in overtime. It took them so long to get there. Of course, we're seeing a similar setup from Sweden, pretty much identical to the Spanish attack, actually. Spain themselves, they're sticking with McCree this time instead of going for the Reaper, so Bromas decided to go for one of his favorite heroes, actually, outside of Soldier 76.
I don't know if I love the pick of McCree here. I think you need to be positioned a long way back here as well. You can't really be involved in the fights, and you also can't really, use the Death Blossom and Nano Boost combos. So it's probably going to be Winghaven that gets the Nano Boosts here for Spain, which can still be effective. We know Winghaven can do a lot with that. But here's Tvik again. We saw the same thing from Neptuno, I think, in that first round. It's about getting picks. It's about making your push a lot easier with a man advantage. But again, teams are wising up to this lead. They're getting a bit canny. They know to keep themselves scarce. Still, Tvik's getting a lot of damage done.
Yeah, indeed. He's starting to work it down. You can see the arrows that hitting the mark. Actually, it was Neptuno that got caught out there, took him down to half health, so needs to get topped off by Line Pro and Harry Hook. Harry, by the way, played DPS yesterday, played a bit of McCree actually himself, but he's on the Ana today, and here goes Sweden on the attack. They're pushing around the side. Coco gets himself one. Bromas going down really early. Whether he caught a fire strike there, I don't know, because he must have been far back from that one. IDDQD takes down Pescanova, and Spain are already in trouble. They're defending the opposite side. They're defending the payload from the back.
It's not going to work as well. Coco's going to be there. Another kill for him, and Zeverside getting involved. He's dealing with tanks and supports alike. Even Zave gets a piece of the pie, and that is a dominant landslide victory in that fight for Sweden. If you're McCree, you don't want to die first there, okay? The whole point of playing McCree is that you can have a bit of safer positioning because you have to look after yourself. You can't be babysat. Oh, that's not good. Pescanova falls? That's the Zarya out of the picture here as well. And you can see Spain, put the two together. Spain have to back right up this street now. They're not going to have time to get a solid high ground position before this payload rolls around the corner. Tvik himself will challenge this and make it hard for Spain to set up properly.
I'm still intrigued. I didn't see whether it's Coco maybe got a charge and caught Bromas out, whether it was a fire strike or what, because we were talking about how he needs to be sitting back, and he just simply got caught out. The first man to go down should never be a McCree on your team, and now they're going to try and push around, but they're very splintered here. Chips is going on a bit of a solo mission, not too sure where he's going with the Ana, because Spain have gone aggressive. IDDQD takes down Line Pro and gets himself a second on Pescanova. There's going to be the Earthshatter from Winghaven, but it's about all he can get. Gets the pin on IDDQD, but Tavik from up on high is just getting solo shots. Nobody's able to deal with him. He pops on down. Now Spain is still trying to hold on at the moment. It's not a bad defense. They decided to go aggressive, and I think they caught Sweden a little off guard, but they're still repositioned, and that's the marker. That's all they need to go. Spain, you need to challenge it. You need to challenge around the corner. There's a Dragon Strike. I don't think they're even going to get it.
Pescanova's going to get them to the point, but for whatever reason, Spain were retreating when they should have been attacking. They only had 3 people, but at that point, you've got to go for the objective. They just allow Sweden to walk straight in and take it. And it was Pescanova, probably the least experienced player on this Spain roster, the first person to realize, wait a minute, guys, we're about to lose the game here. And you can see that with the payload so close to the end of the map lead, even a 3-for-3 fight for Sweden is very good. It still allows them to advance because Spain have to be very careful. They couldn't use high ground because of where the payload had to get to.
Stunning stuff. Well, surprising how badly Spain actually played that. I thought they'd put up a bit more of a performance. Hopefully they can turn things around on Temple of Anubis. But for now, let's check out Sweden.
Team Sweden's the fan favorite coming in. Such a powerful lineup, 6 professional players from all the top teams.
We have Coco Chips from Envious.
We're gonna play better to beat everybody else.
We have Twick from Rogue.
It's very easy to make mistakes, and mistakes cost you games.
Savi from Luminosity Gaming, and obviously we have Sebasai from European Standard Misfits.
What makes IDDQD such a good player is his positioning as a DPS player. When you see him on McCree, always in interesting spots where he can, flank, pick off 1 or 2 players, and he's so accurate, makes him very dominant on that hero.
The thing that I do differently is that I focus a lot on positioning, and I always tend to mind game my opponents just to make sure they always have to guess where I'm coming from.
Farah 1 HP.
Playing with Team Sweden in general comes with a lot of energy. Everyone's very skillful, everyone knows what they're here to do.
What makes Vic such a very good player is his versatility on different heroes.
I go in, I play my game, and then I take it as it goes.
I think Vic is a super good player. He plays a lot, he plays everything, and he plays everything well.
I think the make or break factor for Team Sweden is if they can stay level-headed. They're such a fan favorite, they have such a great roster, it's whether they don't overlook teams.
I think there's going to be teams out there who might give us a challenge, but I think we're going to take it home in the end.
And that was Sweden there, a little bit of insight into them. Now, we heard IDDQD coming in English there. He said, I think Zarya 1 HP. I'm pretty sure they're coming in Swedish there as well, which is a very interesting factor. Also, so people can't hear them. I want to say, Ali, very quickly, before we jump into Temple of Anubis, this will be. Obviously, Sweden on the attacking side. I'm glad to see IDDQD play Reaper. Now, on Fnatic, he never did this. It was Buds that was the Reaper player. But to unlock Twick's deep hero pool in the DPS sense, IDDQD needs to play the Reaper and he needs to play it well. Because Sweden don't want to have to resort to putting Twick back on that Reaper and then playing a little bit more of a standard comp with the Mei. So IDDQD can allow Sweden to have much more of a larger suite of options when it comes to comps in terms of the DPS.
Yeah, ironically, it actually pushed TVK onto McCree for a brief period of time.
Well.
It did very well with it.
He's able to play a bit more aggressively than IDDQD usually wants to. Twick's always an in-your-face kind of guy. I think Genji think he's Reaper. So, with Andre IDDQD, he sort of said, I'm a bit more of a passive McCree nowadays. I'm more about positioning, but Twick is going to have the killer instinct to go in. So again, you've got those 2 aspects. It's great to have on Sweden.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Temple of Anubis, the defense setup is going to be 3 tanks. Tell a lie, just 2 tanks for Spain. It's a 2-2-2 setup, so they're going to go with Neptuno, who's already taken a hit there. You can see IDDQD. This is something we've seen throughout, actually, the tournament. IDDQD starting out on that Widowmaker and hitting shots and making the difference. The shield just about keeping him in there.
Yeah, I mean, IDDQD has to back away. It wasn't quite a concussive blast on Widow. Unfortunately, the Poison Mine's not going to knock him back, and it's not going to get him out of trouble. Winghaven's going to be able to give him a shocking reception with the Tesla cannon. But Zaven's Everside chiming back in here, despite losing IDDQD. Perhaps Spain over-prioritized that Widow, and now they're going to struggle to hold this point with 2 men down.
There's a fight off site at the moment, and you can see that Sweden are already starting to cap it out. They finally get in and contest it, but unfortunately it is only line-prone Lucio, Harry hooked on Anna, and they're already going to get dealt with. Bromas will go down, and Sweden will take the first point inside the first minute. Not the ideal start for Spain, as they just have to deal with Winghaven.
Now, Neptuna going down, and actually we also see this point being tested by Winghaven. If Sweden move quickly off this point, they can catch Spain at a man disadvantage. It could be like a 4v6 or a 5v6. Yeah, this is scary. Tuvik has done this before against Anox, actually, in the Overwatch Open qualifier. He went 1v4 with a Dragon Blade to win and allow his team to qualify for E-League, but he's going to be biotic grenaded now, but the Graviton Surge, this is perfect. Spain took such a huge risk pushing over on towards that point, and they're going to lose because of it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a big mistake there by Spain. I think I could see what they were trying to do, trying to delay things a little longer, but all it did is give Sweden a massive ulti bonus. You can see how they're stacking it out. They haven't quite hit the first point now. They're getting a good spawn advantage starting to come through. Of course, they're just around the corner. Coco's got himself his spawn ready, his ulti ready, waiting to go. But the primary race is not going to do a great deal. Sound barrier gets dropped. Winghaven picks himself up a quick double there. Zabe goes down, and Spain hang on. And Sweden don't even get the first marker, so Spain did really well to come back from that.
I was so convinced that Sweden would have had the game there and then. In fact, people maybe wouldn't blame me for that, but that was a good play by Neptuno as well. Not only did he keep Zebasai quite busy, but he also saw the point out really well while staying safe. We did, of course, see Winghaven step on towards the point. Now, I don't know if he actually used an Earth Shatter there because he's almost got his next one. So he could have done a lot of damage and maybe, you know, used his Earth Shatter already. But either way, that's a breath of fresh air for Spain. They almost messed up. There was no need to contest that point a second time on the first push.
So Neptuno has that Blizzard available, so they've got a good defensive ulti to keep Sweden at bay. But Chips, you see, just hitting that nano boost, ready and waiting to go. Tavik's Dragon Blade is just 5% away, and they're already pushing in. But Bromas switching over to this far up, making it work. IDDQD getting picked off. The sleep dart going down, I think it was on Tavik. Yeah, managed to get caught out. So this attack is going to stop before it begins. And now Barrage ready and waiting to go. So Bromas making some changes. They're going aggressive as well.
Yeah, that's right. And why not as well? You want to clean up Sweden. You get yourself some extra ult %, which means that you're going to have a little bit more available for subsequent pushes. If you're going to try and stretch your ultimates out over the next 4 minutes and 58 seconds, that's how you want to do it. I mean, the Pharah here is just, I find it quite interesting. In general, there's not a bad spot. I mean, Bromas can start from a perch, and then he can sort of rocket boost up, so he gets very, very high above the point and quite safe, given that Sweden doesn't really have a good hit scan comp here, with the exception of maybe Chips. So that's fine. Maybe a Reaper later on to set up on the top and come in with the Ana combo might be more robust, but we'll see how this one works.
Tavik still hanging on to that Dragon Blade. They've got the Graviton Surge as well. They're going to make the attack. The push around the right-hand side. Here's Tavik going in. Gets himself a quick spin, but the barrage has already taken down Zaven. IDDQD. Coco gets himself one. Tavik doesn't get his reset. He's looking for Line Pro, but he's so close to going down. Doesn't manage to get himself the kill. And now Neptuno freezes him up before he can reach the health pack. And Spain hold on once again, but it's not over yet.
So Pescanova charged up and ready to rumble. That particle cannon is hurting. And there was only a few members of Sweden for that to be used on before they switch it back up. Now, Tavik on towards the Roadhog here. I don't mind this. Also, IDDQD going to the McCree. So when you see Roadhog McCree, this is full pick comp. This is, you know, isolate single targets, burst them down, one hit kill potential, all the rest. And that's quite scary for a Pharah. Bromas, though, reads into this. He's already switched towards the Reaper here, so he's almost ahead of the curve in this case. But let's see if he can set up now with the wall to buy a bit more time for Spain's defense.
Yeah, use that barrage, remember, to great effect in the last fight. And it's like, okay, need to switch over. Harry Hook's going to have the nano boost as well in the next fight. Graviton Surge also available. There's going to be the Earth Shatter from Coco. Didn't really catch too many, only got one down. He goes deep though. And IDDQD picks himself up a quick double. That's both supports going down. And Spain is suddenly in tatters. They have to run and hide. Pescanova trying to get around the side. Winghaven's been picked off by Chips of all people. And now it looks like Sweden may well have it in the bag. They're going to get themselves the first marker, if not the second. They're trying to contest it.
There's
but
no
you
chance.
can see Line Pro goes down, and that will be the round. 3 minutes 11 in the time bank for Sweden and their first attack.
Much nicer stuff there from Sweden after sort of responding a little bit, realizing that, okay, their approach maybe wasn't working. The Genji for Tavik, very, very hard to make that work because Spain kept themselves very scarce on the point. We saw a Graviton attempted to be used by Zebasai. Tavik goes to try and slice up whoever's inside it, and it's Pescanova who's got himself a shield, and I think it was Neptuno who was in Iceblock form as May. Not a lot to choose from here. The Roadhog pick, I love it. It was a great switch for him. It can be very hard as Roadhog to push into points that are already held because you're going to take a lot of damage initially. You're a bit of a sponge for that, but IDDQD coming over the top, I believe he got a nano boost as well. It's just so scary. The versatility of this team is frightening. Tavik can pretty much play anything now, especially if IDDQD can back him up there. I'd say ID's hero pool is maybe less large, but he's very, very good at what he does play. So between those two, Sweden have almost unlimited options.
So Spain's turn to attack. Now they have the goal set. 3 minutes, 11 seconds, the time bank for Sweden. Spain, can they even conclude the map? That's the question. They have to cap out the first point, then move on to B when it unlocks. We'll see what they're going to go with. Sweden themselves, we've seen this a number of times. Tavik going over towards the Junkrat in the defense. It is a hero that he works well with. Zebasai, though, making the switch. He goes onto the Mei.
Yeah, interesting little switch up here as well. I mean, this composition means that Sweden obviously foregoes a tank. But Mei is often considered a bit of an off-tank in a lot of ways. Okay, there we go. So that's fine. This is a bit more of a standard comp. You could take Mei here. It's a little bit risky, especially with IDDQD up on the McCree. But this is zone control from Sweden. This is keeping Spain at arm's length and tearing strips off them with guys like this Junkrat, of course, and the McCree. Once the fight starts, you are going to have some backup from Zarya there as well. I've seen Tavik go absolutely nuts on this map in this position with the Junkrat. I've also seen him get taken down very early. Neptuno will be gunning for him.
Bromas decided to go with the Tracer as well, it seems. So going with a mobile attack with Winghaven, of course, on the Winston as well as Neptuno trying to pile in there. So looks like they're going to maybe go for the flanker. They're going to try and push for the right side. Remember, there's that Hook, and you can see Tavik trying to throw out the grenades. He's trying to get a bounce on, and they have managed to get around the side. So Bromas actually already contesting the point while the rest of the team starts to come around the side. Is he going to catch him out, or is he going to catch him off guard? Chips actually to back away because he's got focused by Winghaven, and suddenly it's a little chaotic. Pescanova gets himself the first kill.
So they're trying to focus down Anna, and they get it, but now Tavik's still alive. He's still able to do some work here. Now he's going to try and focus down towards Bromas as well. He gets shielded up briefly, but still needs to be careful. A trap placed in front. Neptuno sees it, won't step any further forward, reflecting a couple back, but Neptuno walks through it there. It's going to be Tvik takes him out with a grenade, and now Pulse Bomb used on towards Coco on this point. It's going to be Bromas eventually taking him down. A bit of a brawl over here.
Bromas doing some great work. He was the first man on the point, and he's continued to keep them alive, keep them at bay. Chipso firing off the shots, gets himself one on Harry Hook and almost takes down Bromas as well. Do not mess with his support. He has the robot dance moves, and he's not afraid but to use the scope as well.
So got to move in and out of game, Lee, no doubt about it. So, interesting focus there from Spain, and well played. Now, you notice that Tvik actually put a trap down just in front of where he was standing initially, just in case Winghaven tried to dive on the main group of Sweden. But he didn't. Winghaven walked a little bit closer under the bridge and then jumped straight on Chips high end. Chips then was evading, not in a position to do any healing for his team. No blooded grenades, no nothing, no sleep darts. They managed to focus him down first, and Tvik was just circumvented for most of that fight. He couldn't really have an impact.
6 minutes, 22 seconds. It's a long time for Spain to attack, but it's a tough old nut to crack getting in here on the final section of Anubis. They have the ult advantage currently. Can they make it work? Winghaven goes diving in. Neptuno goes around the side. He's waiting, biding his time. He has that Dragon Blade. Winghaven's gone a little too deep though away from his team. Pescanova's been picked off. Dragon Blade goes off against the sound barrier. Gets caught out around the side. Hasn't got enough to finish off the Reaper of IDDQD. And Coco takes down Harry Hook. It is not going to work this time for Spain. And Sweden will hold strong.
They do. Spain try again, get the jump on them. They gave Sweden a little bit more time to set up than Spain themselves had. I want to see if there's going to be any big switches here for Spain. Probably nothing major. Bromas going to stay on the McCree here as well, which I have to respect. It's pretty tricky to actually make that one work here. Often you need to go around the right side and get a little bit of elevation on the brick stacks to actually be able to be safe. I don't really love McCree working around towards the left because it's really easy to isolate him and get up close in those small corridors. So keep your eyes on that. IDDQD, classic positioning for a Reaper. He does have that Death Blossom just now available. There'll be no nano boost here, but if he gets a shield from Zebasai, he can still strike a devastating move to the heart of Spain.
Winghaven tries to push on through. He's going to drop down. He's got two eyed up on the side there. They know he's there because he's given his position away. And Tavik, though, already picked up Neptuno. That means Spain are just going to have to back off instantly.
I like that. I mean, an IDDQD doesn't mind showing there because every time you walk past and you know there's a McCree up above, it's going to give you pause for thought as an attacking team. He needs to be addressed, or Spain need to go around the right side and try and avoid him. That's probably the more likely condition now. Let's see how this one works out. And Sweden should know this. They should know that, okay, Spain probably try and get around IDDQD. Let's get ready. And you can see already they're actually pre-firing the right side. Spain have got to rack their brains and come up with a solution very soon.
Well, they need to basically bait out some of the ultis because Sweden have completely fully stacked here. They're going to try and push on through. Bromas going to get boosted. It's a quick Deadeye around the side. It didn't quite work out. IDDQD instead put an end to it. He dropped himself in the side. You didn't actually get a glimpse of it on camera, but what happened, obviously, they were pushing around the right. They were all in a enclosed space, and IDDQD picked himself up a quick fall. You saw the idea. It was a clever thought, but Sweden only used 2 ultis to counter it.
Yeah, so this is what you missed here. I mean, IDDQD goes in. Fantastic replay there to show us all aboard the Coco Express as well, as the charge does come in quite nicely. So, you know, if you're up and out of position on that Reaper, the Nano Boost still makes you fast enough to walk back to where you need to be in the fight and Death Blossom, even if you're all the way up the front there. So you can still respond if Spain try and get around you.
So they're going to try and use the right flank this time. You can see they're going to push on through. Actually, they're trying a double flank, actually. They're going to come around the left and right. They're trying to split them apart, but Bromas has already been dealt with by IDDQD. That's less than ideal. And Sweden, they're sitting on such a massive ult bank, and they don't even need to use it because Sweden are just in control the whole time here. Spain are not really testing them at the moment.
So it looks like Spain want to just match Reaper combo versus Reaper combo here. They want to just get a Death Blossom nano boosted Reaper in the mix and hope that when the smoke clears, there's going to be more Spaniards standing than Swedes. They do have the Graviton Bomb combo as well, so there's a lot of burst damage available. When Zave has himself the sound barrier, it's going to be hard to make that work. It's going to be left side push. IDDQD setting up for it too.
Zebasai sat with the Graviton Surge. There's 6 people there he could catch out, and he knows it. He's just going to back around the corner. He's just biding his time, but he must be licking his lips at the prospect of being able to catch them all out. Is Is he going to go aggressive? He's going to push around the side. Winghaven has to try and shield up as much as he can. IDDQD keeps working it down. Neptuno decides to dive in. There's the Graviton Surge going out, but it's countered back and forth. And this time it's Spain that come out on top. Bromas manages to get himself a quick double. Neptuno tosses out the pulse bomb, but it is damage done. Sweden wiped out. They're going to cap it before they can spawn.
Yeah, there's no chance here with a full team wipe. There's no one who can even stall this one out at all. Perfect stuff, but now we're going to see the charge out from the point. Just in time, no! We actually saw Zave surfing up on the wall up above. He couldn't get on towards the point. That is impressive stuff from Spain. They have now made this match far more interesting and far more competitive. With both teams finishing the map with time left, we're going to be moving on to a repetition. It's going to be time bank now. So the time that these two teams have left in their pocket is what they're going to have to play with to attack and defend respectively again. And if we do need to do it again, that will be the case. But with only 3 or so minutes left for both of these two teams, and they used about 3 or 4 minutes to even take the points in the first place, this is going to be very close.
Very close indeed. And what looked like an unwinnable situation for Spain really started to test them. There's me looking a little gormless.
G'day, Lee. G'day, Desk.
Hey,
How
Desk.
are we,
How you
guys?
doing, boys?
Hope you're enjoying the game. But, I mean, here's that replay now. I mean, this was just a case of Spain. Like I said, they're going to try and play combo versus combo. They had the Graviton Bomb. They had the Reaper going in. Literally throw everything you can. It's a bit of a weird look on you, Lee.
I look a little pissed. I got to be honest. It's like an aggressive face, I think.
Well, either way, now we've all woken up for the day. Now we're all ready to take on the world. It is going to be now into our second half, essentially, of this match where both teams had to attack and defend again. You can see 2 minutes 31 remain for Spain, 3 minutes 11 remain for Sweden to take as many points as they possibly can within the allotted time.
So Sweden making the changes. You can see we're going to see the Hog coming out on the defense this time from Tavik. It's something he used when he switched to at the end there, but they're going to go with the triple tank setup. Just IDDQD on the McCree. You can see if they can hold strong. Now Bromas caused them a lot of problems on the initial attack. He managed to get himself around the side, hold them up, contest the point, and force them to start looking elsewhere, along with Neptuno. Winghaven also doing it. So very much similar attack style from Spain. It worked well for them the first time around, but this time I feel that Sweden are prepared.
Again, clumping together a little bit here. Tavik on the Roadhog here. This is a little bit more of a safe move, I guess, than the Junkrat. Of course, he has kind of more health, and you can also just rip the guts out of an attacking push quickly. Now we see Winghaven jumping onto the middle, though. It's a good headshot, though. Look at that. Neptuno just walked into a bullet destined for his brain, and IDDQD takes a lot of the damage out of the Spanish comp.
IDDQD actually flashed up and ready to line up the shot, and then gets hooked out by Tavik. He's like, ah, damn it. You made my accuracy go down. But yeah, that was a solid hold from Sweden. Spain not really getting anything going there. You can see what they planned. You can see Winghaven tried to land in front of them, but if Winghaven gets taken down so fast like he did there, focus fire from Sweden backfires it horribly. Now remember, they only had 2 minutes 31 coming into this. They're already down to 123, so they're going to get 2 attacks at most to try and take this first point.
Yeah, so now Spain is stressing a little bit because you haven't had enough time to build up your ultimates, and Bromas has switched to Reaper, so he's far away from his death loss. But guess who has ultimates? It's going to be Sweden going in. Coco gets himself 2, and now Tavik as well, just going to do some duck shooting here. Not much Bromas can do, and IDDQD is going to eventually do the honors now. 1 minute remains, and still no big ultimates for Spain. They're probably going to have to use his nano boost as soon as possible, just to try and get to grips with Sweden here.
It's like a wet dream for Coco. They all just pile into that room. He's like, yes, my hammer can hit everyone. Just swings away. Now he has the Earth Chatter ready and waiting to go, along with the whole hog for Tavik. IDDQD got himself his Deadeye. He's going to drop down. There's the whole hog. He runs it, rattles it off. The shield gets dropped. Line Pro gets picked off before he's able to get that sound barrier going. But Pescanova picks up a quick double. Now he gets dealt with. Winghaven comes charging in. Tavik trying to get smashed on. Bromas gets himself a quick kill around the side, and it is a little chaotic. Sweden start to fall here. Suddenly Tavik gets himself helped up. Do they realize he's still around the corner? It's a 4v1 right now. Tavik gets dealt with, and Spain will cap out the first point. Sweden, the gauntlet, has been thrown down.
Impressive stuff from Spain there. They had very little to work with in terms of ultimates and positioning. They just pushed their way straight on through and managed to win that fight out. You can see that Tavik was pretty much isolated. Great stuff from Winghaven there as well. You know, we saw, you know, the player nano boosted in. Great push ultimately for Spain, and Sweden were not really ready for it now. There's 24 seconds. There's no time extension on the second time through for Spain. They've got to capture this point, otherwise they're only going to have 3 points. That means if Sweden can finish the whole map on the next go-through, they're going to win it.
Pescanova. He's the man that picked himself up a quick double. He's got Graviton Surge ready, waiting to go. Tavik comes around the side. There's the Graviton Surge. He gets himself a quick triple. Winghaven decides to leap on it. He's got the one in his face, but he doesn't need to worry about it. They get themselves the ice block around the side. Bromas gets a quick double. Can he get a triple? He plays down. Yes, he does. Chips gets dropped. That is going to be Spain Sweden are just battered off. They have to stay alive. They have to hang on long enough for the respawn. I don't think they've got enough time. It's contested. It's cleared. Are they going to get the respawns?
Stepside moves back on. You can see Zay's up above as well. He doesn't want to really get involved in the fight. He just needs to stall things out, and he did well. Going to be enough time for Coco probably to get to this point. No, he's charged away. Nicely done, and it's a good catch. That's beautiful stuff there, and beautiful job by Winghaven to stop Coco from getting to the point. With 24 seconds remaining, Spain take the second point. They get 2 points from that playthrough of the match with less than 3 minutes. That's incredibly efficient, incredibly good. And now Sweden have to match that at the very leastly. That's a huge task for them.
Suddenly the confidence is battered down. Pescanova on Winston, I'm not sure about that one. He's playing Zaya a lot mainly. I think it's Winghaven that's been hitting the Winston. I don't know whether he maybe switched to it towards the end there, but Pescanova on Zaya was very impressive. He was the man that got himself the quick double that started things off on the A side, and then you saw him get that Graviton Surge, catch 3 people on the B side. Fantastic stuff from him.
Bromas had a very good run through there as well. He's done about about a third actually of Spain's damage over the course of this map, and a lot of it came, or at least a big part of it came from that push through there as well. His Death Blossom, obviously right towards the base of Sweden at the end of that round, was instrumental in preventing any sort of reinforcements from bleeding back through. I just love the pure adrenaline and instinct of Spain there to go for the fight and to win it out there against a team like Sweden. It's nuts. This game is really delivering.
So, will we see a map number 3? Will we reach Lijiang Tower, or will Sweden do it in 3 minutes, 11 seconds? They are struggling to hang on right now. And now Sweden, of course, will be able to push on through. Tavik got himself set up. He is on the Genji. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this worked for Tavik on the first time here as well. It's going to be a bit of a dive with Coco going on the Winston, which we don't always see from him. But Tavik again, backing away, sort of jumps in. A couple of shurikens are being thrown to charge with his next Dragon Blade. The first one will probably be the most important here with how little time there is. But now Coco going very low. Winghaven eventually takes him down there. Not enough backup for the Winston going through. Now Winghaven gets to reciprocate. He gets a bit aggressive. And now it might be Sweden being pushed back out the front door for now.
To slow them down. And remember, it's only a 3-minute timer. Tavik gets taken down really late in the end there as well. Yeah, decided to try and push on it. And that's rattled off a minute of their time already. Now remember, of course, you can do it quick. We saw it with Spain. They only had 30 seconds to get onto that second point. It is possible, but they have to get this first one. And look at Spain's position. They've gone pretty passive this time around.
Yeah, Tavik climbing up the wall and vaulting as his team had already backed away.
Oh, they said it.
Very minor. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to go in for something big. Neptuno's got safe positioning here as well. I don't often see him on McCree, but now, right at the back, there's a bubble up there as well. You can see Tavik gets caught. He was a long way away, but he was out in midair. It's an easy target, but now IDDQD, it's nose to the grindstone. He gets on towards this point. He knew he was going to be taken down, though. It looks as if he stood still and waited. And Sweden have made very little inroads here, trying to pressure on towards this point. The bonus, Lee, is that they got some big ultimates coming back in. It's a Pulse Bomb, there's going to be a Nano Boost and a Dragon Blade here. They should have at least 4 ults ready to go to make this push, but they are low on time.
Tavik's going to have his Dragon Blade as well. This could be good for Sweden here. Swedish fans, be prepared. This is looking like it. And you can see Spain. Spain have already pretty much run and hide. They're all looking to position, but it doesn't matter. Harry Hook's been found. But Bromax and Winghaven come in. It's back and forth, but it is Sweden that will come out on top. Winghaven just trying to beat them away. Tavik shurikens to the brain will fuzz that out. And now 1 minute 20 on the clock. They're going to cap it. It's going to be about a minute 15. And Sweden are going to have to hit the burners. They're going to have to rush onto Spain. They don't really have the ult advantage like Spain did.
Yeah, exactly. And also the difference is that Spain haven't pushed out. They haven't made any risky pushes this time. So Sweden don't get any easy or quick picks making their way towards this second stage inside the temple itself. So it's going to be tough. Neptuna gets picked off there. Oh my lord, Chips Hines picks him out of the lineup. That's massive. It's a 6v5 situation, and Chips Hines has created this for Sweden. Picking someone off with Anna, that's nuts.
And Zave has the sound barrier as well. They can push in. They're going to have a massive hit point advantage. They're trying to get straight into Winghaven's face. They're forcing him around the side. Bromas has been picked off. Winghaven tries to charge out of there, but they have to give up the point to start with. You can see they're trying to contest it. Line Pro just pops in and out, keeps it contested. Winghaven decides to try it. Neptuna gets taken down. Now it's a war of attrition for Sweden. Can they get more kills? And it looks like they will. Spain are in trouble.
This is insane stuff. IDDQD with 2 quick kills now. Tavik getting around the corner. Winghaven, despite having a nano boost, it wasn't enough to keep him alive. He can't weather the storm. Now Sweden are bringing the pain. They're making it hurt. The Vikings have now staked their claim on this territory. They want to plant the flag in the ground. And I'm sorry, Neptuna, but you can't get onto the point now in ice form. It was a blizzard used. A lot of Sweden are very cold, but they're used to it. That's where they're from. And now Tavik going to go with the whole hog and push them back off the point now. Still contested. Pescanova gets in towards the back. Bromas falls.
They're winning the war of attrition. You can see Sweden, they're whittling away. There's only 27 seconds left, and they've got to back away from the point. They could not get it. They get themselves a second marker, but that is all. And now look at Spain. They have themselves the Graviton Surge. They have the Pulse Bomb. They have the Earth Shatter. And suddenly Sweden have to back out of there. They're going to have to hit the burners once again. 10 seconds left. The Ice Wall. It's just compounding their problems. They need to rush on in. They're going to go straight for the charge.
Got to go now as well. But look at the Graviton Surge. Coco's forced to charge out of it, but he's left his teammates behind. The Pulse Bomb gets 3 kills there. And Sweden are nowhere to be seen. Bromas, a Herculean performance over the last few moments here. Sweden not getting anywhere near that point. They're getting taken out one by one. It's a 4th kill for Bromas in that fight. Spain, stand tall, stand strong, and they're going to take it to a 3rd map.
Let me just compound the gravity of this situation. Sweden with their 6 highly talented professional players taken down by Spain, who only have 3 professional players. The other 3 are entertainers. They are professionals from other games that have managed to come through, and they have performed brilliantly. Pescanova absolutely outstanding in there. A number of times his Graviton Surge from Zaya absolutely saved the day.
And let's not doubt, I mean, I'm being very well entertained from everyone in Spain, but I mean, Neptuno and Line Pro as well.
The Blizzard was huge.
Yeah, I mean, they are members of professional teams, and you can see why. These guys have been working so hard. Bromas, I mean, okay, there's a lot of things to talk about here as well. We might not have time to do it all, but Bromas, that Pulse Bomb was really important. The Graviton Surge obviously used there, and Coco had to charge out of it to even touch the point. So by that point, as Sweden, you're at the mercy of what Spain are going to do. Chips, getting that pick, the early pick, of course, he went over towards a point on Anna. He pushed ahead of his team while they were capturing the second, or while they were just capturing that first point. Gets the pick, I think it was on a May or something like that as well. He created a 6v5 situation for Sweden, and that was all the impetus they needed to go forward with, and they almost won it there. And if they had time in the bank, that would have meant that they, I'm pretty sure, could have played for even more time after that one in another repetition of the map, but so close. Obviously, we're doing a lot of yelling, Lee. It's kind of what we do anyway, but this map definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I think we're seeing some of the chaotic control actually favor Spain a little bit almost.
Yes.
The set plays, obviously we saw it in Dorado. Sweden full control, no doubt about that one. But now we're going to be moving on to Lijiang Tower, which is obviously the control map. You're talking about getting hold of those points. We've seen a number of fantastic matches on here already. I'm thinking towards Group D with Chinese Taipei, China and France. They've had some absolute epic duels on here already throughout this tournament. Now let's see if we're going to get the same with Spain and Sweden.
I mean, it's so impressive to see Spain holding up in the heat here as well against Sweden. They're really bringing an excellent game. And seeing their games, you know, taking them side by side, seeing how Sweden and Spain both performed up against other members of this group, you may not have even thought this would be so close, but I'm glad it has delivered in such a fashion. Now, on towards this control map, we're going to see Tvik actually on the Reaper, IDDQD on the Tracer. Now, Tracer's one of IDDQD's pocket picks. It's usually McCree or Tracer, whereas Tvik as well, he plays a heck of a lot of this Reaper in general.
He plays everything.
Yeah, look, I feel like this is your fairly standard control map comp. Bromas going with the McCree, in my opinion, a little bit riskier, especially on this map, because there's not so much open ground, and it is easy to flank or to approach McCree from a blind spot.
So if you're unsure of the rules, guys, it is 1-1 all square in maps. Now we're on this map, which is Lijiang Tower. It will be a best of 5. So they have to take 5 times. IDDQD, he is wrecked by Bromas straight away with the McCree. He's forced to back away, and that's one of the big damage dealers down. There's going to be the Bartic grenade, keeps him alive for a little time until Neptuno decides to take down Coco.
Bromas is going to another level here as well, just when Spain needs it. A great little headshot as well, and as Tracer, you need to be very, very careful, even if you're running with a pack and with your team. One headshot is enough to pretty much kill you, especially in a situation where there's a lot of residual damage being thrown around. So Sweden now, not going to waste much time in coming back to the point here. There's 2 ults for Spain, and there's going to be a nano boost used straight away here for Sweden. It's going to be Coco going into the back lines here. You can see he's pushed everyone away. He blocks the Earth Shatter, nicely done by him. Swinging the hammer, then puts the shield up at the perfect time. He'll get Lion Pro here surely, but he's getting healed up off towards the sideline as Anna. That's annoying if you're Coco. Yeah. Not enough DPS to burst him down.
Spain did an absolute fantastic job of avoiding Coco there. He came charging in, swinging the hammer. They all backed away. Earth Shatter went down, dodged around the side, decided to charge in, they again split off the side, and while that was all happening, everybody focused around the back. Here's Bromas, quick Deadeye, thank you very much. Look at Coco off the side, everybody is just keeping away from him, and Bromas gets a quick Deadeye. It's not often you get a decent Deadeye on the command center.
Yeah, it could be easy to be isolated up on that high ground there as well, but I mean, Bromas has got 66% accuracy right now on McCree. Oh, it's a Pulse Bomb, surely it is. Yep, IDDQD throws it in. Great sound barrier though coming out from Spain. That's going to keep him alive a little bit longer. Unfortunately, the follow-up damage after the Graviton Bomb down for Sweden. Got to be too much to handle here. And Spain will have the point flipped back in the favor of the Swedes here. But they've got about 57, almost 60% by the time this gets flipped. That's a very good opening.
So Tavik's switch from the Reaper to the McCree works well, and he's already got the Deadeye built up there after getting himself a quick triple, and now Spain are the ones in trouble. They have themselves a decent ulti resource management though. You can see they've got the Pulse Bomb, the Graviton Surge, everything stacked up. Bromas once again got himself the Deadeye, but it's going to be countered by Tavik, and he may actually just try and sit from range here, just plink away with that Peacemaker. Winghaven forced back, he sees one of his members go down, Neptuno picked up around the side, so Spain forced to just hold up one moment.
Now you see how far forward Coco is standing? That means it's going to be very hard for Spain to actually flank around the outside and challenge Tvik 1v1. Because Cocker will always be able to say, hey, Kevin, they're coming around the outside, get ready for this. So now they have a really strong hold on this point. They're going to try and push now and try and isolate part of Sweden here. Sleep Dart goes in, Harry Hook gets taken down. They Bromas with 3 though, that must have been a Deadeye. Beautiful stuff from him. Tvik though does get the nano boost now. Can he do him one better? Can he one-up him? Probably not, only 44 HP left, and Neptuno's going to clean him up.
Nice flank from Spain, really good move from going around the left side of the map, keeping them open, and it bought all the time for Bromas. You've got to feel that Bromas went around the right side. He probably went for the flank.
Or
we didn't actually get a full vision of it. Maybe up top as well. You can see it all happening. Okay, Bromas, he just went straight in the front door and left-clicked. All right, that's one way to do it, no problem. Gets himself the quick catch on Tavik as well there. So it all worked well. Spain in charge once again. You can see at 81% as Sweden go charging in again.
Yeah, Bromas takes down his opposite number. Tavik is down. There's no McCree available. That's IDDQD falling as well. The flashbang is so strong against Tracer. This is massive for Spain. Sweden haven't had much control at this point at all. Lee, could we be heading to the biggest upset perhaps in this group, or at least in these all 4 groups? The push forward, the Deadeye, not going to connect onto too many people. There was a bubble from Coco, but Tavik still falls, and that's going to be the first round for Spain.
Command center to Spain, the first of potentially 5 maps. Sweden have the gauntlet thrown down on them. They've been so cocksure of themselves, strutting around the whole venue, just rubbing it in everyone's face. You know, they're relishing their favorites tag, no doubt about it. But Spain, a little sly grin from Winghaven there. Happy with how it's working, and Bromas, I don't think he can't hold the smiles.
I mean, you can see there as well. Look at his screen. Bromas, again, the accuracy from McCree's here is just really treating us right now if you're into that kind of stuff. Bromas are doing very well, and I did sort of foreshadow things by saying Command Center was a little bit harder for McCree because of the way you can flank and use routes to get behind people. Bromas was fully aware of that. He made sure he checked his corners. He was being defended very well by his team, so that's where McCree gets the shine. Here, he's going to continue to play that one, and that's also interesting on this point, whereas Sweden are going to go for the Genji Tracer combo.
Into Garden. 64% accuracy for Bromas, by the way, from that last map. If you're just interested, not bad for a McCree play, that's for sure, at the top level. But they're going to try and dash around the side. IDQD trying to get the flank. You can see he's getting the damage down on Harry Hook, actually, whittling down the Ana, but it's not enough. Neptuno goes in, finds himself one on towards Tavik, and that's going to be Coco trying to go aggressive with the Winston, but instead he got flashbang and a headshot to the dome from Bromas. That is going to be Pescanova clearing them out, and Sweden are in a little bit of trouble. They have to clear off IDDQD, and that's how you do it. Pescanova fully charged just burns him down.
I tell you what, that was very close for IDDQD. Bromas got 2 body shots on him, so IDD did very well to make sure that he couldn't get that single shot headshot, but the accuracy that Bromas is able to provide at close range against that should be a bit of an ill omen for IDDQD. He's going to have to be very careful. It's great to see Bromas in this kind of form, and we've seen some games on Dignitas where he hasn't quite hit the level that we expect from him. Here, though, it seems like he is.
Oh, the Graviton Surge catches him straight in there. That's going to be a quick, easy kill. You can see Sweden going to stack that one up. They used 2 ultis in there. Bromas gets himself a quick triple. I don't think he did use a Deadeye. Okay. I'm not sure he needed to, because Neptuno also put the Pulse Bomb on the Graviton Surge. Maybe a little excessive there on the ulti usage for Spain, but nonetheless, it keeps them holding the point.
19-2 right now is Bromas' score. So is Pescanova, by the way. So both of those 2 have been staying alive and really making a good account of themselves. Zebo, pretty obvious. That's fairly telegraphed. He jumps to the back line, tries to get the Graviton Surge down, but the pulse bomb from IDDQD doesn't really fight anyone. Winghaven even gets a double kill. Both supports down for Sweden. Tvik's got a lot of work to do now. It's going to be a nano boost at McCree in his way. All of the eggs are being put in the Bromas basket. It doesn't quite work out here, but Zebo still fell before Tvik took down the gunslinger.
Yeah, you can see it's Neptuno versus IDDQD. Little duel going on here at the moment. They're going to try and hang on to the point because he's keeping it contested while the rest of his team get around the side. Goes for Coco instead. He's got that pulse bomb. Wanting to try and sticky on the back of him maybe. Gets around the side. Does get the sticky bomb down, but Tavik comes in and gets him down. Ana not working out for him there. Chips is going to just back away with the rest of his team. 73% and counting here, Mitch. This is not long left here on Garden, and they have not got themselves a single marker yet.
This is almost Korean level spawn spawn camping here from Spain. I mean, they don't really need to do that. They can sort of sit back and now wait for the push, but Tvik really needs to make the difference. He doesn't have Dragon Blade, so he's going to go in nonetheless here. You're going to have the Reflect coming out, preventing Bromas from getting the Deadeye off, but he doesn't care. He turns around and he picks up the Ninja there. Beautiful work with the Deadeye. That's definitely a high-value kill there. One for the ultimate, that's fine, especially when it is Tvik, especially when it's Genji. And then now Bromas is left free to roam around and clean up with Pescanova and co.
It's 100-0. It's 100-0 for Spain. They have 100-0 Sweden on Garden. They are 1 round away from taking victory and topping the group against Sweden. When we talked to these at the start of the day, when we talked to them at the start of the tournament, all they said was, we just need to focus on Canada. Can we take down them? The problem is, forget that. They're just looking at Sweden now.
Yes.
They could take this whole group.
And conversely, Sweden walked into this tournament like, we only need to worry about Finland and South Korea. Guess what? Let's add another one to that list here. Sweden have a big target painted on their back, and no one better to shoot at it than Bromas here. Really, really great work for him. I mean, over this last map, King of the Hill, he is thriving here. We just started to see the McCree creep in over towards Temple of Anubis. Spain are on a roll. They have momentum behind them, and this guy is at the fore.
So, Night Market is where we go. Will this be the downfall of Sweden, or will Spain fall at last? They have been dominant so far here on King of the Hill, and we're straight at it, Mitch. We're straight into the action. Coco already taking some blinks down, but Bromas has to back away. He's taking a lot of damage, gets around the side, but Neptuno strikes. Bromas gets Tvik down, and Sweden already falling back.
And Bromas got Tvik and also did most of the damage to IDDQD there as well. Someone's got to stop this guy. Sweden need to shut this McCree down as quickly as possible, because Spain start this round off with another capture here. So already that pressure that's been building on Sweden, now it's compounding. Now it's starting to sit on your chest like an elephant just jumped on you. Sweden need to respond. They need to find something, dig deeper, because right now they're just going around in circles.
Yeah, they're going to try once again. Here goes Tvik dumping in there, but it quickly gets flashbanged out. Doesn't manage to get taken down though, so gets out with his life. Gets in onto the points as well, more importantly. So Sweden actually forcing him back. Nano boost on Bromas, but he gets quickly. Slep's actually caught down by the Earth Shatter. Coco goes charging in with that nano boost on him. Winghaven gets picked off because of it. Pescanova's going to be the focus. He gets taken down by IDDQD, and Sweden this time look to be taking control, but they haven't dealt with the damage dealers. So while they pushed in on point, they are trying to get captured. And the IDDQD, okay, he's got himself his Deadeye. He can set himself up on point.
IDDQD backed away there by Harry Hook. I mean, you've got Chips and Harry Hook, two players that could arguably be playing any DPS class in the game. They're on the Anis here. That just adds something so much more special to this game. Graviton Surge goes in now. Tvik and Zebasai are going to make short work of Spain.
Winghaven flashbang during Earthshatter, I believe, during animation. There, I think it was. You can see
hammer doesn't
he was
hit the
about
ground?
to hit the hammer. Yeah, it was going down. The flashbang came out from IDDQD, so it completely interrupted it on one point there. So nice catch from Tvik there, from IDDQD, sorry. And Sweden now finally in the ascension, 34% and counting. Spain have themselves a challenge at last.
Now, Spain aren't too worried about this because their ultimate economy is, I guess, thriving a little bit more than Sweden's is. They're not behind much on percentage. They know if they invest properly in this fight, they can take it away. That's Bromas. It's an easy pick on IDDQD, who was already asleep. He wouldn't have known whatever hit him. Great flash to catch Zebasai in one last shot. You can see desperately Coco was trying to put the shield up in the way, but he was a little bit too slow. And now McCree, Bromas going to continue on towards Tvik. He has force to block now. Tvik's trying to get away towards an off angle, but that's the flash again. The second kill for Bromas off the back of that flash in this fight. And he is just thriving in this situation. Spain, we talk about teams that sort of thrive in chaos. We saw Thailand yesterday. Spain love to get up in your face here, and it's working very well. Sweden are taken aback and yet to respond.
And you talked about the ult economy that Spain had. They have a massive advantage right now over Sweden. So the counting once again. You can see Pescanova's going to have that Graviton Surge. There it is, stacked down the side. Chip's going to do what he can to keep them alive, but the pulse bomb comes in. Bromas gets himself a kill, and Chip says, goodbye world. I will respawn with my team. And Spain holds strong. They used a double combo. That was the standard, the Graviton bomb combo used. It does mean that Harry Hook keeps hold of that nano boost.
Yeah, importantly enough there as well, that means he can send Winghaven hurtling into the back line of Sweden on the very next fight. That could be devastating enough in itself, and Spain also have the defensive vault. They have themselves the sound barrier to use coming into this. Chips needs to be very prudent about how he uses this nano boost, and it needs to work for Sweden. It needs to work now. Sound barrier for Spain straight away. Tvik going to go on the Dragon Blade, but Spain are quite tanky right now. They're sturdy. They've got overshield. Tvik's knocked to the ground. It's a beautiful sleep dart from Harry Hook to stop him in his tracks, but Bromas the only man to get a kill right now for Spain. Sweden fighting back in this one quite nicely.
Pescanova doing work though. He's going to get around the side, but Zebasai's finally dealt with them, and it will be Sweden that will come out on top. Line Pro's going to get dropped, and the point will flip back over at 95%. Sweden back in control, but if they lose another fight, they're in trouble. There's no ults for Spain currently.
Yeah.
Sweden looking good with Zebasai on the Graviton Surge.
Exactly. There's no reason for Sweden to lose this next fight now. This one ultimate, it's only one ultimate, but it's very high value, and it's something that Sweden don't have for themselves. So that, okay, Graviton comes in here, we see a charge out by Winghaven, Line Pro goes down, and Bromas falls. Okay, so that should be a fight, a one fight for Sweden here. The next fight is going to be the epic one, Lee, and Spain weren't able to build up a lot of ultimates in that fight themselves here, so they still don't have a lot to work with. Neptuno gets taken down there a little bit later than the rest of his team. This is going to be very close. Spain need to move fast, real fast.
92% and counting. You can hear the ticks, hear the timer. Dragon Blade comes out. Tavik goes swinging, gets himself a quick double, and that is it. That is going to be Sweden taking the map. We are going to go 2-1 as we move on to the next round. Finally, Sweden get themselves a marker on Night Market, I should say, not Night Garden. You'd like to mix the two up.
Sweden stare the Executioner in the eye and say not today, or at least not for now. They managed to get themselves that one round back, and the way that the ultimates fell was fairly fortuitous for Sweden towards the end there as well. Spain spent a lot of ultimates in a losing fight. If you do that on a map like this, you know, you spend a lot of ultimates and still lose a fight, you're probably not going to get the point back on the next push, and maybe not even the one after that as well. Because the defending team, or the team that currently holds the point, has the advantage, obviously in positioning. They're probably going to generate ults a bit more than you. It can be a little bit of a small snowball effect in situations like that. So Spain with a very good start, just a little bit of a slip there mid-round did cost them.
Yeah, the nano boost on Pescanova noticed at the end there as well, so I guess it was just like, are you fully charged? Yes, go. But here we are, we're back onto Garden. This is where Spain holds strong. They had themselves a 100-0 victory over Sweden. Can they do it again?
Well, it's a good start for Sweden here. Neptuno's going to fall to IDDQD, so it's almost a reverse situation. What we saw last time are actually on this very map. Good flash there thrown at Vic, but he's actually able to get away. You can see him jumping backwards there with the reflect, and Line Pro goes for a bit of a jump there off the edge, so this is going to stop Spain in their tracks very early on.
Yeah, they're going to get whittled down. The point will get unlocked and fall over to Sweden as Spain are forced back into their spawn points. Harry Hook managed to build himself up the nano boost as well. The ulti ready and waiting to go. So Spain obviously having to do a lot of healing, but IDDQD you can see Deadeye ready to go. Going to get himself repositioned, and Sweden should hold strong in this first attack.
IDDQD has himself a Deadeye now. You can see he's just modulated his positioning a little bit now to the passive. Charge coming in there as well. No, it's going to be Winghaven moving forward. He just had a speed boost there as well, making sure his team's going to be protected now. IDDQD waiting for Zarya's shields to subside, but there was no one to actually pick off. Winghaven, though, in the process, gets biotic grenaded, taken very low. It's a one-for-one trade so far in this fight as Harry finds Zeba.
Yeah, Harry's only going to be the kill. That's the problem. Neptuno gets himself a quick double. Line Pro boops them off the edge there, and suddenly Coco is thinking, where did my team just disappear? Line Pro will get cleared off. Tavik is not going to be unperturbed, and it's Tavik versus a 2-on-1. Pescanova burns him down, can't deflect that, son, and it's just going to be a beam to the face. Spain take the point in a fight that, honestly, I didn't think they were going to win.
Yeah, interesting use of the sound barrier there for Line Pro, as it was already a huge man advantage for Spain, but Tavik wasn't able to deal in the 2v1 situation. Against the Zarya, like you said, Lee, your reflect doesn't mean much. Now, here's the Graviton for Pescanova. Spain want to try and start to mount some pressure on Sweden. That's got to hurt in the morning. Neptuno comes in with a pulse bomb, and Sweden are nowhere to be seen.
Spain have been very good at hitting that combo. They have been on point. Every time you see that Pescanova Graviton Surge coming in, absolutely look for Neptuno. He is going to be coming straight back at it, working very well. You can see 44 eliminations and just 8 deaths. Working very well as a tracer. This is a player that has had a long history across a number of games. Some of them MOBAs, some of them FPS. He has been hitting everything. So a professional, every sense of the word. They're going to go charging in, but you can see it doesn't matter. Sweden have just floundered. Coco went deep, but the rest of the team were cut in half.
Yeah, Coco still gets Bromas though as well. Now Sweden with a sound barrier, they can at least sort of move their way over towards this point and actually still win this fight out as a result. Zebasai now dealing with Line Pro. This should be over in a fairly short duration, and the point will be flipped back now as Spain have about 55% here. Should be now captured. So that was interesting. Coco was a long way ahead of Sweden. I think that was sort of set right back. I think Winghaven actually managed to get an Earth Shatter on towards most of Sweden except for Coco. We did see Neptuno try and jump on the back line, but the problem is that Coco still has a nano boost. He's still a massive threat to Spain, and even though they were trying to sort of flank around and get on towards the back line of Sweden, they still had to deal with the Reinhardt in their face. He did work.
So Tavik got himself that Dragon Blade. Oh, sneaky stuff from Neptuno. Almost capped it out there. You can see IDD Cutie is like, hang on a minute, there's somebody on point. Pulls that Deadeye off. Neptuno's going to have to stick around the side. He's going to look to get caught out. Gets himself just one. It's Pescanova, though. That's a big important one as well. The Zaya going down. That's going to stop Spain dead in their tracks.
Yeah, Pescanova is one of the top damage dealers right now for his team. That's a massive high-value pickup here. And with Tavik able just to toy with the back line, and even the front line in this case, of Spain, it should be enough for Sweden to hold on here. This is the comeback. This is the resurgence. Sweden are not going to take this, I guess, upstart Spain lying down. They're going to bring their fight back in now with the Dragon Blade. They're going to have themselves a nano boost as well. They've got the tools to take this to a 5th stage.
Graviton Surge just straight onto the bridge. It has to be. There it is. Gets him around the side. There's the Earth Shatter as well. Maybe didn't need to use it at the exact timing, but it doesn't matter. Sweden get all the kills they needed, and that should be enough to shut down the map. Sweden take it 2 apiece as we move to the decider.
It was almost with disbelief that I, sort of witnessed Spain starting off so strong in this map, getting those first 2 rounds. But Sweden have recovered a bit more, and IDDQD definitely deserves a bit of a word here. When you see a McCree on the opposition team start to step up and sort of wreck your flankers, there's a sense of like, okay, I need to match this. It's not so much McCree versus McCree and take theirs out, but you need to deal with their flankers as effectively as they are dealing with yours. I think IDDQD played well there. Bromas is still running riot at the moment, and it may take more than this just to switch things back in their favor. But it's a good start, and it's what we expect from IDDQD. Is one of the most regarded names on McCree in the world.
I was quite impressed with the 50% Lucio accuracy, actually.
Right?
Lucio, that's not an easy thing to hit, the triple shot.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you just sort of spam corners and hope to catch people in the head of height, right? But Line Pro, he's being very, I guess, purposeful with his shots to do damage and also to force people back. Good boots as well.
Here we go. Spain, Sweden, Night Market is the map. This is the one that Sweden won. They're going to be feeling confident, but Pescanova strikes first. IDDQD goes down. Tavik tries to jump around the side, focused on Pescanova, but Neptuno this time switching over to that McCree. Hello, we've not seen this, have we? Bromas decides to go on the Tracer, so Spain decides to switch things up, and they will take the first point with ease.
We spent so much time talking about Sweden have this very diverse hero pool in the DPS aspect. They can be so flexible. Well, Spain is showing that they're capable of this as well. They've got some decent ultimates built up in that last fight as well. The nano boost will be there. There'll be a pulse bomb, probably saved till later for Pescanova, but that's perfect stuff from Spain. Sweden now, they're going to lift here. This can get out of control very quickly.
Indeed, IDDQD, well, he was the first man to go down. Not going to be too happy with that. Tries to get around the side. Bromas causing him all sorts of problems. The little giggle comes out from the Tracer just to compound the problems of IDDQD. Harry Hook takes down Coco. That's the tank down. Neptuno, flash for flash, going down there, but it's going to be Pescanova that strikes once again. Quick triple kill as a fully charged up Zaya blasts you from behind.
First pick of the fight, Harry Hook hits a sleep dart on towards Coco, puts him on his rear end, and then it's an easy pickup. I believe a pulse bomb was stuck to the prone body of the Reinhardt there. With that pickoff, Spain could then control the middle of the map and get a lot of damage down unanswered. It's just very hard to lose a fight from that position.
Solid stuff. Spain already up to 50% marker. Neptuno pops around the side. Anyone going to get the shield up? Coco gets away with it. Just about the shield back in there. But Chips, you can see big damage going in there. Tavik also taking a big hit around the side as they try and go for the left flank. Onto the point.
Yeah, all 5 players, in fact all 6 now, make their way over there. Chips does have a nano boost available. Probably going to be Coco using that one in a moment. There's going to be an Earth Shadow 2. There it goes. It goes in. Bionic Grenade desperately thrown down as the Graviton Surge catches a lot of players from Sweden. And Bromas finishes them off there. The extra damage from the Pulse Bomb gets it across the line. Eventually Bromas is caught and he's put down. It is hammer time, but Neptuno responds, takes down Coco. Tavik coming with the Dragon Blade though, 76%. Sweden need to win this fight and take this point back quickly. I don't know if they can even do either of those things.
They're in real trouble, real trouble. The only bonus they have is there's not a great deal of ults for Spain either, so Sweden are going to have themselves a bit of an advantage coming into this fight, but they have to try and take the point, and it's at 90% already. It's do or die time for Sweden. Will they finish top of the group, or will they fall to Spain?
4% left now as well. You can see the Deadeye being channeled elsewhere on the map, and Spain move off the point. They're ready to respond. They want Sweden to be desperate to get onto the point. They want Sweden to make a mistake, and they want to exploit it. Now Spain are going to come back in. Sweden flip the point back in their favor now. The longer this fight goes, if they win it, the better. But Neptuno, very safe positioning, staying outside. Graviton comes in though. You can't run from that.
It's not enough, though, I don't think. You can see Neptuno has the Deadeye. Neptuno actually gets himself a quick kill there as Tavignov's trying to get in there. IDDQD will get himself the kill, backs away with the Deadeye. The Coco shield will hold strong, and it will be Spain that are forced to back away. Sweden weather the storm.
The positive side of this is that it wasn't a wipe of Spain. Sweden didn't kill all 6 players, so they're not giving away free ultimate percent to Sweden. Spain back away. They're being very careful because they don't want to let Sweden build up a bank to sort of churn through slowly and keep Spain off the point.
Bromas is going to have himself Pulse Bomb soon. Line Pro not far off the sound barrier. Sweden also in a good position in terms of ultis. Now, sound barrier goes straight down. Taviko's looking though. Dragon Blade swinging. He's going to get himself a quick 2 kills on Neptuno and Pescanova, and that stops his attack dead in its tracks. Tavik gets himself a quick quad kill.
Yep, both teams using quite a few ults there as well. You notice that Winghaven and Harry Hook let theirs go. So that was the Nano boost, that was the Earth Shatter being used. They're very impactful here. Spain have to come back now with essentially not really much to work with. Sweden's in a similar position here. But if Sweden give any opening to Spain, this map's going to be over. Any wipe, that's going to be it. But Sweden can hold on here. They've got a strong position. You see, they're not pushing out into the middle of the map. They're not actually allowing this to be a mono-e-mono kind of fight between Sweden and Spain. They're going to hide, and they're going to wait.
The problem is, while this started off as a the IDDQ going down early. Coco's been taken down as well. Neptuno's picked up a kill. This is disastrous for Sweden. Spain are rolling on into the point like a big heavy rock, and that is going to be the point taken. And I believe it is all over. Sweden will fall to Spain. Unbelievable stuff here on Lijiang Tower.
It was a matter of time, and the patience paid off there for Spain. They realized they had such a huge advantage, and they sat back on the point and they said, we're going to allow Sweden to take this. We're going to build some ultimates up. The pick on IDDQD from Bomas, so that was absolutely massive, and that allowed Neptuno to be free to roam around that fight and get the damage done.
Wow, that opens this tournament wide open. And some careful consideration required, I think, from the Swedish team as their crown has well and truly been knocked off their head. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get over to the analyst desk to take us through that epic encounter.
Wow, thank you, Demon. Thank you, Mitch. What an incredible match there. I have to know, did any of you expect this outcome?
No. I did one about Sweden, I'll say that, but I did not expect Spain to did such a good showing. This was amazing. I mean, amazing Overwatch.
I think we all thought Spain would give Sweden a run for their money at least, but I don't think any of us really expected Spain to actually take it. But they stepped up, and you know, those little issues that Sweden's been having in the last couple of days kind of got compounded a bit. And here we go, Spain 3-0 in the group.
Well, let's talk about some of the factors that took Spain to victory here, because they made a lot of great choices throughout their play. Yeah, I think early on, I mean, we saw on Anubis, actually, that's sort of where things kind of switched to Vic, you know, finally took, finally was not quite getting things the way they wanted to go. That's when Sweden started switching things up, and Spain really solidified.
I mean, it was just such an amazing comeback on Anubis, because Spain didn't have as much time to work with in the time bank. They were pushing through, take the first point with, what, 5 seconds remaining, get an additional 30 seconds, but they had 4 or 5 ults up, immediately charge into point B and make it work. So
there was just a collection of individual, like, good plays from Spain on Anubis. Even Sweden, to be honest, when Sweden captured the 3rd point and IDDQD got a great pulse bomb off, and then Chipshine gets a pick when there's like 30 seconds left, opens up to get the 4th point, but Bromas shuts them down, and it's just individual plays throughout this series, and it was great to watch.
Yeah, Bromas has been doing some pretty impressive stuff throughout this tournament, especially on the last map on Lijiang. We saw him just picking people off, so many skulls on his board. But let's take it back to what you were talking about early on, Monty. There were some plays you wanted to point out?
Yeah, actually, let's get into a replay, because I think that's where it's going to get very interesting. So we're going to pause it here at the beginning. Thank you. All right, well, we got it. Okay, so basically at this point in time, we can see that there's 6 members of Team Spain over on this side of the point. IDDQD has just teleported over, trying to get the flank on with the Reaper, doesn't have the Death Blossom, but this is where we really need to take into consideration the ults that are available for both teams.
Now, I want to point something out there. That Sweden right now, they have Maze Blizzard up, they have Zarya's Graviton Surge up.
Exactly.
And Spain is just standing here. And what we're going to see Sweden do is they're just going to stand on the point and wait for Spain to engage. So I just want to point that out.
Yeah, and ideally what they're looking for is to get some of these AoE abilities into the choke point right here. But if we look at the other side, on Team Spain, they've got the Big Bang, the combination between the Tracer and Zarya ultimates available. They also have a sound barrier to negate some of what Sweden can throw out. Winghaven, crucially, also nearly with the Earth Shatter up. So instead of just filing into this point, we're going to see Spain try and take a different approach. So they don't want to just go all the way through one choke point. So we're going to play this film, and we're going to see 3 of them split off for a flank right here, and Coco is actually going to miss his Earth Shatter. So they're going to pull back, and they're going to try and make a pincer maneuver on this point instead, using a Lucio speed boost. So they show Winghaven again, but okay, so now we're back here. Now here's where the flank is going to come in. We can keep rolling the footage. So we're going to see 3 of them come around with a Lucio speed boost, and the Earth Shatter's going to miss. Now, at this point in time, this is the perfect series of ultimates, because right there they throw in the Graviton Surge onto Xave, Tavik, and Zebosai, and immediately follow up with the Earth Shatter. This means that no one can actually use their ultimates on the side of Sweden. They get Bromos around the backside with a Nano Boost on the Reaper, and they clean everybody up. So they caught everybody with the right crowd control, so nobody on Sweden could use their ults. Beautiful flanking play right there.
And keep in mind here that Coco standing on the bridge, he sees these 3 players flanking around, and he probably makes a call here, and that sets up the Zarya and both the Reinhardt to just go in for free through the choke point and just hit that Earth Shatter without no shield being in the way.
Yeah, and several mistakes, of course. The Mei wall actually was not cutting off the other members. It actually boosted them up, so they had an angle in order to shoot some of those ultimates. So it was more or less a perfect storm for Spain, but the execution ended up being beautiful.
Yeah, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, this is a huge turning point in Spain's play throughout the match. We saw now Sweden finally starting to respect them also, I think, after Anubis. That takes us into Lijiang, where things get really, really scary.
Yes, and I believe I had a replay here. I hope we can show that from Lijiang. So we're going to see Bromas here, and it's going to pause right here. And this is what I talk about when I say that this is a passive Sweden we are looking at here. So right now we see Spain. They're preparing to set up on the left, and they're all pushing through this choke point. There are 5 members here while Bromas is on the main. And Coco, we can see his red shield sticking up there. They're actually protecting this high ground here. And behind him, there's a Zarya. Basically, Sweden is behind them here. So if we roll this replay, we're just going to see Coco back off. They're just giving up this ground to Spain here. And Spain is just free. They can take all this space on the point for free. And Sweden is just basically not contesting it. And they're just giving up ground. And this is what I warned about Sweden. I don't think it will work in the long term if they just keep giving up space for this to free that all teams can play with and just have their way.
I think a big part of Lijiang Tower, too, for Spain was Bromas was so good on that McCree for so much of it. And even though we saw them swap roles, him and Neptuno later on, he really was making the plays that carried Spain through to those later rounds, I think.
Absolutely. We have a couple more replays, too, to check out here. There was just so much good action in this game.
Wonderful stuff.
Going all the way back to Dorado here, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, we kind of missed out on this map because Anubis and Lijiang were both so great.
Well, this map was not so great, I think, is why we skimmed right over it, especially for Spain here.
Well, Sweden took this one pretty easily, honestly. Yeah. I mean, after map 1, we thought, well, maybe this is just going to end up being a 2-0, but Spain really, really coming back on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, I think key for Spain here was to get at least Anubis or Dorado so they could move on to Lijiang here, because Sweden not really good at their control map play, so Spain getting the win here on Anubis just set them up to win the series.
It was close, too. I mean, like we talked about, it was into overtime on point A, but they were able to just barely put that push together at the end to take both points in the second attack round.
Yeah, impressive that they were overtime on point A, but managed to cap B with some time left to give them some space in the...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the shocking thing, too, well, I got to say, too, I mean, we saw a lot of big bang combos throughout this, but in the end, Spain, I think, executing that a little bit cleaner. What do you think?
I find it amazing that Spain, with a team that only has 3 current Overwatch Pro players, was able to overcome Sweden, which is just rife with talent. So yeah. It's quite an upset here, and certainly going to give Sweden some pause, I think, heading into the quarterfinals. But as we talk about how this looks moving forward, at the same time, yes, Sweden took number 2, but this also means that maybe some teams who have taken number 1 are actually potentially in a worse position once we get into the quarterfinals if Sweden can actually pull their game together.
You know, Sweden may have lost this best of 3, but I still don't think they're a team you would ever feel comfortable playing if we're looking at the later rounds of the tournament. They're still really good, and I think this was a bit of a wake-up call for these guys. We saw a bit of cockiness, we saw a bit of sloppiness from them here and there, and after this loss, I think they've got a couple days where they'll really pull it together for BlizzCon.
Yeah, this might have been a great wake-up for them, you know, just to shake out some kinks before they get to the big event at BlizzCon at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just thinking of potential matchup here in the playoff. This is going to be great to see Sweden maybe going up against USA, going up against South Korea in the quarterfinals already. It's going to be a great playoff.
All right, we still have a lot to look forward to with these two teams, and that continues after the break. When we come back, Jason's got an interview with Bromas. We'll see you soon.
The Overwatch World Cup is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
Peace. It has been my life's work. Through honesty and diplomacy, there is no obstacle. There is no obstacle we can't overcome. Within each of our hearts lies a yearning for peace. Even in this odd place, I truly believe that each of us can find a way to live in harmony. As I was saying, I am Jaina Proudmoore. We don't need to fight, but if you insist, so be it.
Welcome to BlizzCon!
This is one of the coolest things you're ever going to see in your life.
For Azeroth! We invented some brand new characters.
When we first did BlizzCon back in 2005, we had no idea what to expect.
Are we ready to begin the costume contest?
It's so much more than a game in a box. Have a great BlizzCon!
Heroes of the Storm. Prepare for Heroes Brawl, the new game mode that breaks all the rules. Rated T13.
The Master has been gone for so very long. I anticipate his return in every gust. It's maddening. Whatever is one to do to pass the time. I've gone and made a mess. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Our unannounced visitors. Preparations must be made, for the Master will return to Karazhan soon.
Welcome to BlizzCon!
This is one of the coolest things you're ever going to see in your life.
We cannot wait to share with you guys what we have in store.
Welcome to BlizzCon, boys.
For Azeroth! We're exploring a lot of new locations. We invented some brand new characters.
The world could always use more heroes.
We retake our homeworld.
When we first did BlizzCon back in 2005, we had no idea what to expect.
Are we ready to begin the costume contest?
It is amazing to feel part of this thing.
How'd you guys feel about today? You excited?
it's so much more than a game in a box.
We have so much to show you here today.
It's just all fun and games.
Have fun this weekend. Take care of each other. Have a great BlizzCon!
The reviews are in, and the critics agree. Overwatch is a perfect 10.
Psst, what are you looking at?
It's time to pick a side.
Overwatch. Play it now on PC and console. Rated T for teen.
The Overwatch World Cup is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
Welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup, ladies and gentlemen. That was an incredible match that we just got to see there between Spain and our boys in Sweden. I don't even know how that happened.
It's just a huge upset. I mean, nobody would have predicted that. I mean, watching it was pretty awesome to see. This next match will be a little bit interesting.
Well, before we even get there, we're going to throw it over to Jason. He's got an interview with Bromas. I cannot wait to hear what Bromas has to say.
Well, Bromas, first of all, congratulations on that victory. Let's break it down off the bat. What happened versus Sweden? Let's talk about Dorado first.
Yeah, I have no clue, honestly. Like, if we were thinking that the game was going to be really, really hard. If we had any chance was if we win Dorado first, because our Anubis is terrible, and then everything can happen on Lejan, right? But we got destroyed attacking Dorado first point, and after that the map was almost possible. Then we jumped on Anubis, and we were expecting just a 0, to be honest. They were pretty shaky attacking. They were not looking that strong, and I don't know, it looked like everything was working for us at the end.
Okay, yeah, Temple Anubis, even though you just said it was a really bad map for you guys, you played phenomenal. And Pescanova in particular had that great Graviton surge on the 4th half coming into the final attack. I mean, let's talk about Pescanova, Line Pro, Neptuno, how they have adjusted to your guys' team. How well do you guys feel?
Oh, they're doing a pretty good job. I know Pesca for a long time ago. He's a Team Photos player. He's doing a great job on Zarya and everything that he flex off. Neptuno is a former CS player. He's really good at his scan. He basically plays the same that I play, but we can make it work. And he's playing pretty well. And Line Pro is playing support. He's talking a lot. He's outcalling a lot. And he's pretty helpful.
And speaking of Neptuno playing hit scan, we saw actually you and him switch between McCree. Can you kind of talk about why that happened? Because you were doing a phenomenal job controlling Tavik on the Genji.
Okay, I was playing McCree on King of the Hill. It was working pretty well. Like basically, it was just countering Twig. But by the end of the 4th round, Neptuno was pretty shaky, was pretty nervous. And I just asked him if he wanted to switch Tracer and McCree, because it feels like when you are playing Tracer, you need to be pretty calm. And he said he was okay with it. We did it, and it worked.
So now, since you guys come out as first seed of the group, that's actually a lot of relief off your shoulders, because that means you potentially dodge South Korea, potentially Finland, potentially the US, potentially Russia. Did you guys think about that before coming into the match, or were you guys just focused on the match only?
Not really. We were just focusing on the match. I think that every team that is going through group stage is going to be pretty strong, and doesn't matter who you're playing, you have to respect them.
Okay, and how's the mentality in the group? This will be the last question. Like, how's kind of the motivation within the team? Because I've seen you guys here a lot, so you guys practicing a ton, and you guys seem to be doing fairly well, considering you guys, I mean, no offense, we're technically the underdogs against Sweden. I think you even agreed with me before.
Yeah, I don't know, we are pretty hyped for this tournament. We are pretty motivated. We are really proud of representing Spain here. And after we played the first game against Canada, we get mega hyped. Like, we played super good. Then we had Brazil. It was a fairly easy game. And we just jumped on this game, like thinking, we did a good job. Doesn't matter what happens here. We are going to BlizzCon. Let's see what happens there. We won here, so I guess everything is going super good for us right now.
Okay, I know it's the last question, but one more, because everyone's been talking about South Korea. You have Winghaven, you have Harry Hook on the team, who have been playing in the Overwatch Apex League over in Korea. They have a lot of experience against them. Has that experience kind of come throughout you guys? Like, have they given this information to you guys to how to play them if you potentially match against them?
Yeah, really. I've been talking with them a lot. They always said that the Korean players are amazing. Like, not really as individual players, but as a team, they are pretty impressive. So they were just giving advice, telling how to play. We are doing some things. Like Win, for example, is pretty much playing Winston, like Korean Winstons. And yeah, it's helping a lot.
Were you being extra nice because they're literally right behind us?
No.
Okay, well, congratulations on the victory. We'll see you at BlizzCon. For now, let's head back to the desk with Rachel.
Thank you so much, Jason. What a great interview. And I'm glad that Bromas is feeling proud to represent Spain here because they did an amazing job in that last matchup.